Hello, Mark and Eden. My number is S034108, and my level is sophomore. Today I will read Helen Fisher, The Brain in Love, post July 20, 2008. Rating informative, fascinating. I and my colleagues, Aaron and Lucy Brown and others, have put 37 people who are madly in love into a functional MRI brain scanner. 70 who were happily in love. 15 who had just been dumped. And we are just starting our third experiment. Studying people who report that they are still in love after 10 to 25 years of marriage. Oh, this is the short story of that research. In the jungles of Guatemala, in Tika, stands a temple. It was built by the grandest Sun King of the grandest city-state, of the grandest civilization of the Americans, the Mayas. His name was Jessa Chen K. Owiel. He stood over 6 feet tall. He lived into his 80s, and he was buried beneath this mon mon monument in 720 AD, and the Mayan inscriptions proclaim that he was deeply in love with his wife, so he built a temple in her honor, facing his end everything spring and autumn. Exactly at the equinox, the sun rises beneath his temple and perfectly bathes her temple with his shadow. And as the sun sets beneath her temple in the afternoon, it perfectly bathes his temple with her shadow. After 1,300 years, these two lovers still touch and kiss from their tongue. Around the world, people love. They sing for love, they dance for love, they compose poems and stories about love, and tell myths and legends about love. They pine for love, they live for love, they kill for love, and they die for love. As Walt Whitman once said, he said, "Oh, I will stake all for you." And so anthropologists have found evidence of romantic love in 170 societies. They've never found a society that did not have it. But love is always a happy experience. In one student of college students, they asked a lot of questions about love, but the two that sound out to me the most were, have you been rejected by somebody who you really love? And the second question was, have you ever dumped somebody who really loved you? Almost 90% of both men and women said yes to both. Almost nobody gets out of love alive. So before I start telling you about the brand, I want to read for you what I think is the most powerful love point on earth. There's other love points that are of course just as good, but I don't think this one can be surpassed. It was told by an anonymous Quaker Indian of southern Alaska to a missionary in 1796. And here it is. I've never had the opportunity to say it before. Fire runs through my body with the pain of loving you. Pain runs through my body with the fires of my love for you. Pain like an boil about to burst with my love for you. Consumed by fire with my love for you. I remember what you said to me. I said, when thinking of your love for me, I am turned by your love for me. Pain, more pain, where are you going with my love? Until you will go from here. Until you will leave me here. My body is numb with grief. Remember what I said, my love, goodbye, my love, goodbye. Emily Dickinson once wrote, parting is all we need to know of help. How many people have suffered in all the millions of years of human evolution? How many people around the world are dancing with elation at this very minute? Romantic love is one of the most powerful sensations on earth. So several years ago, I decided to look into the brain and study the methods. Our first study of people who were happily in love has been widely publicized, and I am only going to say a very little about it. We found activity in a teeny little factory near the base of the brain called the ventral tegmental area. We found activity in some cells called the A10 cells, cells that actually make dopamine, a natural stimulant, and spread it to many brain regions. Indeed, this part of BTA is part of the brain's reward system. It's way below your cognitive thinking process. It's beneath your emotions. It's part of what we call the reptilian core of the brain, associated with wanting, with motivation, with purpose of with craving. In fact, the same brain region where we found activity becomes active also when you feel the rush of cocaine. But romantic love is much more than a cocaine high. At least you come down from cocaine. Romantic love is an obsession. It possesses you. You lose your sense of self. You can't stop thinking about another human being. Somebody is camping in your head, and as an 8th century Japanese poet said, my longing had no time when it ceased. Why this love and obsession can get worse when you have been rejected. So right now, Lucy Brown and I, a neuroscientists on our project, are looking at the data of the people who were put into the machine after they had just been done. It was very difficult actually, putting these people in the machine, because they were in such bad shape. So so anyway, we found activity in three brain regions. We found activity in the brain region, exactly the same brain region associated with intensive romantic love. What a bad deal. You know, when you have been dumped, the one thing you love to do is just forget about the human being and then go on with your life. But no, you just love them harder. As the poet Terence, a Roman poet once said, he said, "Alas, the whole earth to my love." And indeed, we now know why. 2,000 years later, we can explain this in the brain. The brain system, the reward system for wanting, for motivation, for craving, for focus, grows more creative when you can get what you want, in this case life's greatest prize, and a appropriate making partner. We found activity in other brain regions also. In a brain region associated with calculation gains and losses. You know, you are lying here. You are looking at the picture and you are in the machine and you are calculation. You know what went wrong. How you know what had a loss as a matter of fact. Lucy and I have a little joke about this. It comes from a Debbie May play and there's two con artists in the play. And the woman is connecting the man. And the man looks at the woman and says, "Oh, you are the bad pony, I'm not going to bet on you." And indeed, it's a part of the brand, the core of the necklace, the incumbent. Actually, that is becoming active as you are measuring your gains and losses. It's also the brain region that becomes active when you are willing to take animals risks for huge gains and huge losses. Last but not least, we found activity in a brain region associated with deep attachment to another individuals. No wonder people suffer around the world and we have so many kinds of patience. When you have been rejected in love, not only are you engulfed with feeling of romantic love, but you are feeling deep attachment to this individual. Moreover, this brand circles for what is working and you are feeling intense energy, intense focus, intense motivation and the willing to risk it all to win life's greatest prize. So, what have I learned from this experiment that I would like to tell the world? Foremost, I have come to think that romantic love is a drive, a basic mating drive, not a sex drive. The sex drive gets you out there, looking for a full range of partners. Romantic love enables you to focus on your mating energy on just once at a time. Conserve your mating energy and start the making process with this single individual. I think of all the poetry that I've read about romantic love, what sums it up best is something that is said by Plato over 2,000 years ago. He said the god of love lives in a state of need. It is a need, it is an urge, it is a homeostatic imbalance. Like hunger and thirst, it's also impossible to stamp out. I've also come to believe that romantic love is an addiction, a perfectly wonderful addiction when it's going well, and perfectly horrible addiction when it is going poorly. Indeed, it has all the characteristics of addiction. You focus on a person, you obsessively think about them, you crave them. You distort reality. Your willingness to take an enormous risks to win the person. And it's got the three main characteristics of addiction. Tolerance. You need to see them more and more and more. Withdrawals and less relapse. I've got a girlfriend who's just getting over a terrible love affair. It's been about 18 months. She's been beginning to feel better, and she was driving alone in her car the other days, and suddenly she heard a song on the car radio that reminds her of this man. And she not only did the instant craving come back, but she had to pull over from the side of the road and cry. So one thing I would like a medical community, and a legal community, and even a college community to see if they can understand that indeed romantic love is one of the most addictive substances on earth. I would also like to tell the world that animals love. There's not an animal on the planet that will copulate with anything that comes along. Too old, too young, too screw free, too stupid, and they won't do it. Unless you are stuck in a laboratory cage, and you know if you spend your entire life in a little box, you are not going to be as picky about who you have sex with. I've looked in 100 species and everywhere in the wild. Humans have favorites. As a matter of fact, ethologists know this. There are over 8 words for what they call animal favoritism, selective perceptivity, male choice, female choice, sexual choice, and indeed, there are now 3 academic articles in which they have looked at this situation, which may only last for a second, and its defined attraction and either this same brain region, the reward system, or the chemicals of that reward system are involved. In fact, I think animals' attraction can be instant. You can see an elephant instant go for another elephant. I think that this is really the origin of what you and I call love at first sight. People have often asked me whether what I know about love has spoiled it for me, and just simply say hardly. You can know every single ingredient in a piece of chocolate cake, and then when you sit down and eat the cake, you can still feel the joy. And certainly, I make all the same mistakes that everybody else does too. But it's really depended my understanding and compassion, really for all human lives. As a matter of fact, in New York, I often catch myself looking in baby carriages and feeling a little sorry for the tot. And in fact, sometimes I feel a little sorry for the chicken on my dinner plate when I think of how intense this brain system is. Our New Year's experiment has been hatched by my colleague, Art Aaron, putting people who are reporting that they are still in love in a long-term relationship into a function NRI. We have put 5 people in so far, and indeed we found exactly the same thing. They are not lying. The brain areas associated with intense romantic love still become active 25 years later. There are still many questions to be answered and asked about romantic love. The question that I'm working on right this minute, and I'm only going to say it for a second and then end, is why do you fall in love with one person rather than another? I never would have been able to think of this. A match come. The internet dating site come to me 3 years ago and asked me that question. And I say I don't know. I know what happens in brain when you do become in love, but I don't know why you fell in love with one person rather than another. And so I've spent the next 3 years on this. And there are many reasons that you fall in love with one person rather than another that psychologists can tell you. And we tend to fall in love with somebody from a sense socio economic background, the same general level of intelligence, the same general level of good looks, the same religious values. Your childhood certainly plays a role, but nobody knows why, knows how. And that's about it. That's all they know. No, they've never found a way to personalities fit together to make a good relationship. So it began to occur to me that maybe your biology pulls you towards some people rather than another. And I've concocted a questionnaire to see to what degree you express dopamine, serotonin, estrogen, and testosterone. I think we've evolved for every broad personality types associated with the radius of these four chemicals in the brain. And on this dating site that I've created called chemistry.com, I ask you first a series of questions to see what degrees you experience these chemicals. I'm watching who choose who to love, and 3.7 million people have taken the questionnaire in America. About 600,000 people have taken it in 33 other countries. I'm putting the data together now, and at some point there will always be magic to love. But I think I will come closer to understanding why it is you can walk into a room and everybody is from your background, your same general level of intelligence, your same general level of good looks, and you don't feel pulled towards all. I think there's a biology today. I think we are going to end up in the next few years, to understand all kind of brain mechanism that pull us to one person rather than another. So I will close with this. These are my older people. Faulkner once said the past is not dead, it's not even the past. Indeed, we carry a lot of luggage from our yesteryear in the human brain and soul. There's one thing that makes me pursue my understanding of human nature, and this reminds me of it. These are two women. Women tend to get intimacy differently than men do. Women get intimacy from face-to-face talking. We swivel toward each other. We do what we call the anchorizing gaze, and we talk. This is intimacy toward women. I think it comes from millions of years of holding that baby in front of your face, cajoling it, reprimanding it, evaluating it with words. Men tend to get intimacy from side-by-side doing. So the as soon as one guy looks up, the other guys will look away. So the I think it comes from millions of years of sitting behind a bush, looking straight ahead, trying to hit that buffalo one on the head with a rock. So I think for millions of years, men face their enemies. They sat side by side with friends. So my final state is love is in us. It's deep embedded in the brain. Our change is to understand each other. Thank you. Close. Then my number is S0341008 and thank you.